It's the 13th of May. I'm going to do a quick cover off on Philippines post the selection of Bong Marcos. It's interesting to see a lot of the analysts and a lot of the global and regional security providers are talking only about how it affects multinationals. I think there's a much larger thing at play here, and it's how it affects Filipinos. I think it's very, very interesting that roughly of the 31 odd million votes to date that Bong has received, a large portion of those people were actually clinging on to the golden era of the Philippines as a justification for why they voted for Bong Marcos. But sadly, a large proportion, a disproportionately large proportion of those people weren't alive then. And they're missing the role that Duterte, and it's in his best interest to assist Bong in any way, given his daughter's position. But the closure of various media outlets, and some of those very high profile, for those that were objectively looking in particular at the roles of the oligopolies in the Philippines. Now, sadly, these 30 odd million people that have voted for a return to the so-called golden era are probably forgetting the thousands of pairs of designer shoes and handbags that the former president's wife held, and perhaps also turning a blind eye on financial issues such as a total disregard for the $4 odd billion in estate taxes that the family owes the country. Also, the potential role, alleged role in trafficking of children, sex trafficking by force, fraud and coercion, conspiracy. And there's many other issues that the Marcos family have very large question marks around. Now, it's very good and easy for Bong to say, don't judge me on my father, but judge me on what I do. I think, though, in fairness to who he is as a leader, we also need to ask, shall we also be permitted, sir, to judge you on what you don't do? Are you going to look at the inequality of wealth, the main reasons for it, the abundance of wealth for certain families? Are we going to look at the failure of the country to adequately separate the powers of the media and the judiciary, in particular the performance of the police? Are we going to put any measures in place to help bridge inequality and injustice? Or are we going to see an escalation in extrajudicial use of force? So it's sad to sit back and watch all these so-called global analysts and experts talk only about how it affects their clients, when the plight of a very large country in terms of number of islands and population is at stake. And when certain fundamentals of democracy are not in place, then many, many people can easily be manipulated by the use of media for the outcome and the gain of a self-righteous few. So this is a very, very dangerous period for the Philippines. And it's only those that live in ignorance that will actually base an assessment on multinationals without considering how these votes may go awry. You can check us out at www.apacassistance.com. We're a bespoke company offering operational risk management to clients operating in both Asia Pacific and the EMEA regions. Contact me directly via my LinkedIn account, Paul A. Qualia. Thank you.